She was top TV personality. This is her today. There have been many TV personalities on the air over the years, providing information and entertaining audiences. They all got their start somewhere, and some are still on the air today, while others have moved on to new careers, had families, or have chosen to give up television. Here's a list of the most notorious TV personalities of the past and where they are today. Janice Villagrán. Janice is a Mexican-American weather presenter and journalist. She began her broadcasting career on several game shows and as a forecaster. It wasn't long before she became popular with her viewers, and everyone said Janice had beauty and brains. Today, Janice is a reporter and on-air host of Estrella TV and iTestigo TV. She's also part of the entertainment show En Vivo USA. Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper is an American journalist, cartoonist, and author. He began his career working with several Democratic politicians and worked as a freelance writer. Jake was a senior writer for the Washington City paper from 1998 to 2000 and began hosting Take 5 on CNN News. Jake moved on to work with ABC News from 2003 to 2010 and returned to CNN in 2012. Today, he's still with CNN, working as a chief Washington correspondent. Jennifer Lammers. Jennifer is a TV news reporter and news anchor. She landed her first journalism job right after college as a reporter for WBBJ-TV in Jackson, Tennessee. And she also anchored the weekend news at the station. In 2007, Jennifer joined Fox CT in Hartford, Connecticut as a reporter. From 2012 to 2014, she was an on-air personality on the Golf Cable Channel Network, Back 9 Network. Jennifer also co-anchored Good Day Wake Up on Fox 5 in New York City, and joined Extra as a correspondent in 2019. Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer is a news anchor and started his TV career as a producer on the noon newscast of WOWK-TV in Huntington, West Virginia. Matt joined NBC in 1992, where he was co-anchor of the early weekend news show Today in New York at WNBC. Matt stayed with NBC from 1992 to 2017 when his contract was terminated due to allegations of inappropriate behavior. Susan Lee. She was a top TV personality. This is her today. Susan's a TV journalist and began her career at the Canadian Broadcast Corporation as a freelance reporter and associate producer, and she joined Bloomberg Television as a host in 2006. In 2014, Susan began working at CNBC Asia as a co-anchor of Asia Squawk Box and later joined some of the network's sister stations, including CNBC Europe and CNBC US. In 2018, Susan joined Fox Business Network as a correspondent, where she still works today. Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is a TV news anchor and journalist. He began his career as a national reporter with Boston Globe and worked for the Chicago station WBBM-TV, owned by CBS at the time. In 1975, Chris started working for NBC and remained there for 14 years. Chris left NBC in 1988, started working for ABC News in 1989, and stayed there until 2003. Chris joined Fox News in 2003 and still works there today as a news anchor. Diletta Leotta. Diletta was a television presenter from Catania, Sicily, and presented Series B games on Sky Sports with Gianluca Di Marzio and Luca Angelini in Italy. Later, she began working at Radio 15 with Ida Yaspica on the program 105 Takeaway. In 2018 and 2019, the television personality began presenting the Series A broadcasts for DAZN. In 2020, Diletta co-presented the 70th annual edition of the San Remo Music Festival. Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper came from a wealthy family but wanted to make his own way in the world. He's a journalist, and his first job was with Channel 1 from 1992 to 1994. He began working as an ABC correspondent in 1995 and joined CNN as an anchor on American Morning with Paula Zahn. In 2003, the journalist landed his own news program, Anderson Cooper 360, on CNN. Today, Anderson still has his show on CNN and also serves as a correspondent on CBS's 60 Minutes and often guest co-hosts Live ABC. Anderson could have lived off his family's money, but journalism was in his blood. Sean Hannity. Sean's a talk show host and conservative political commentator who got his first break in 1989. He began his career as a general contractor, volunteered as a talk show host at UC Santa Barbara, and later joined WVNN in Athens, Alabama. Later, Sean moved to WGST in Atlanta and then to WABC in New York until 2013. In 2014, the TV personality started working for WOR's radio station. Today, Sean hosts a commentary show, Hannity of Fox News. He also has a talk radio show called The Sean Hannity Show. He's an avid Trump supporter and found himself surrounded by controversy due to what he says on his show, most of it half-truths and lies. Bree Walker. Bree is a meteorologist and weather anchor. She began her career as a meteorologist and co-host for the NBC-affiliated TV station KMAR in Amarillo, Texas. In 2007, Bree joined ABC7 as an eyewitness news meteorologist. She's made appearances on local chat shows and Good Morning America. In October 2019, Bree started working as a climate and energy expert for the city of Santa Barbara, and she's still there today. Bree is also an advocate for the American Heart and American Stroke Association. Megyn Kelly. Megyn is a journalist, news anchor, and attorney. After being hired by the ABC affiliate WJLA-TV, she became an assignment reporter in 2003 in Washington, D.C. In 2004, Megyn joined Fox News and hosted a legal segment called Kelly's Court. After Megyn began hosting a 2-hour afternoon show on Fox called America Live, before joining NBC News, where she had 3 different roles. The journalist hosted a daytime talk show and a Sunday night news magazine, and was a correspondent for major news events. In 2020, Megyn started hosting her own podcast, The Megyn Kelly Show, which she's still doing today. Bob Woodward. Bob Woodward was one of the most famous investigative journalists in the United States. He began his career in 1971 as a reporter for the Washington Post. Throughout his life, Bob mostly covered political scandals and handled the original news reporting of the Watergate scandal in 1972 along with Carl Bernstein. His work was very well received, and journalist Gene Roberts called the coverage the single greatest reporting effort of all time. Today, Bob still works for the Washington Post and has written 19 books on American politics, and he still manages to get the scoop on many stories today. Christine Amanpour. Christine is a British-Iranian journalist and TV host. She joined CNN in 1983 on the Foreign Desk in Atlanta, Georgia, working as an entry-level desk assistant. Christine got her big break when covering the Iran-Iraq War. She left CNN in March 2010 for ABC News, where she worked as an anchor for This Week. In December 2011, Christine returned to CNN and had a unique contract with ABC and CNN. Christine replaced Charlie Rose in May 2018 on PBS with her show Amanpour & Company, where she still works today. Robin Roberts. Robin is a television broadcaster and got her start as a sports anchor and TV reporter for WDAM-TV in Hattiesburg, Mississippi in 1983. In 1986, she went to WSMV-TV as a reporter and sports anchor in Nashville, Tennessee. Robin moved to WAGA-TV in Atlanta, Georgia, before moving to ESPN in 1990, where she remained until 2005. In 2005, Robin began working for ABC, and today she's the anchor of ABC's Good Morning America. Katie Couric. Katie does it all, and she's a TV and online journalist, presenter, producer, author, and founder of Katie Couric Media, a multimedia news and production company. Katie got her start as a journalist as an assistant at ABC News, and later joined NBC as a reporter. Katie was Yahoo's global news anchor from 2013 to 2017, and worked as an assignment editor with CNN. Katie worked for all major stations, including NBC News from 1989 to 2006, CBS News from 2006 to 2011, and ABC News from 2011 to 2014. Diane Sawyer. Diane is who every girl who dreams of being a journalist hopes out to be one day. She began her career as a weather forecaster for WLKY-TV in Louisville. After leaving Louisville, Diane moved to Washington, D.C., hoping to find a government job and become a staff assistant for former U.S. President Richard Nixon. Diane became a general assignment reporter with CBS News in 1978 and moved to ABC in 1989 to anchor Primetime News magazine. Today, she's still with ABC News, producing documentaries, and has interviewed some of the most famous, influential, and controversial people in the news. Tucker Carlson. Before Tucker Carlson became a controversial right-wing conspiracy theorist, he worked as a fact-checker for Policy Review. See the irony? He also worked at the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette newspaper in Little Rock, Arkansas, more irony, in 1995. Tucker joined the Weekly Standard News magazine and worked for CNN from 2000 to 2005. After leaving CNN in 2005, Tucker worked for MSNBC until 2008. In 2009, Tucker joined Fox News as a contributor and still works there today. Many people disagree with the TV host, spreading conspiracy theories and dividing the country, and he's God to right-wing hardcore Trumpers. Joe Scarborough. Joe is a cable news TV host and currently works at MSNBC as the co-host of Morning Joe. He began his career in 1991 practicing law in Pensacola, Florida, and served in the United States House of Representatives from 1995 to 2001. Joe resigned from Congress in May 2001 and continued to host Morning Joe. Joe's political views have changed a bit over the years, and he's found himself on the wrong side of Donald Trump, but he's never backed down. Rachel Maddow. Rachel is a TV news program host and liberal political commentator. In June 2005, Rachel was often a panelist on CNN's Paula Zahn Now and MSNBC show Tucker. Rachel worked as a correspondent for the Advocate newspaper and launched a podcast in 2018 called Bagman. Today, Rachel is the host of The Rachel Maddow Show on MSNBC and works as the network's special event co-anchor along with Brian Williams. George Stephanopoulos. George is a TV host, political commentator, and former Democratic advisor. Before beginning his career as a journalist, George was an advisor to the Democratic Party and resigned from the party in 1996. Today, he's very busy and works as the chief anchor and political correspondent on ABC News. He also co-anchors with Robin Roberts and Michael Strahan on Good Morning America and hosts ABC's Sunday morning current events new program This Week. Mika Brzezinski. Mika's a journalist, talk show host, liberal political commentator, and author. She got her start in journalism as an assistant on ABC's World News This Morning in 1990. In 1991, she moved to Tribune-owned Fox affiliate WTIC-TV, WTIC-DT in Hartford, Connecticut, and worked as a general assignment reporter. Mika joined MSNBC in 2007, and today she co-hosts the weekday morning broadcast show Morning Joe. Before landing this job, Mika was a correspondent for CBS News. Yamiche Alcindor. Yamiche is a journalist and began her career as a reporter working for Newsday, a newspaper in Melville, New York. In 2011, Yamiche became a multimedia reporter for USA Today in New York. The same year, she worked for NBC News as a guest on MSNBC. Yamiche left USA Today in 2015 and went to work for the New York Times as a political reporter. Currently, she's the White House correspondent for PBS NewsHour and is a political contributor for MSNBC and NBC News. Brett Baier. Brett began his television career at a local station in Rockford, Illinois. Later, he joined WRAL-TV and became a CBS affiliate in Raleigh, North Carolina. In 1987, he landed a job at Fox News Network's Atlanta bureau chief. Today, Brett hosts the Social Report with Brett Baier on Fox News and is the chief political correspondent for Fox. He also worked as the network's chief White House correspondent and Pentagon correspondent and still works for Fox today.